What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the GGBL live stream here for you guys here today. I decided to actually get this thing started a little bit earlier than 9 o'clock tonight. That's when the original stream time was supposed to be. Ultimately, I decided, why not go a little bit earlier, right? 4 o'clock. Let's just do that. So up on your screen, we're actually going to do this together. Wait till some people come into the stream. We'll search through some stadiums, man. I'm actually interested to see like what you guys think about where the next team should be. Like, what stadium should they get? But first, I got to show you guys what happened with the voting. That's where I got to go next. So let's get that underway here quickly. Hope you guys are having a great Sunday. All right, so up on your screen, guys, is the results of our voting. So I asked you guys who you thought needed a new logo, new uniform, and new stadium. And you guys actually voted out. You came out, and it was kind of a split decision here. You had 7 for Boston, 6 for San Diego. So Boston split the tie here 7-6. They're going to get a new logo. And then Indiana and Houston were the two teams that I thought deserved a new uniform. But you guys came out and said Houston, kind of another split decision there, 7-6. Houston beats Indiana by 1. So Houston will get a new uniform. Boston will get a new logo. And as far as the stadium goes, you guys came out in droves here for Oklahoma. So 6-4. Indiana at Industry Center Stadium, I should say. Got a couple votes there at 4, but Oklahoma at 6. Pittsburgh with 1, 2 for Portland. Oklahoma's going to get the new stadium. So I'm actually anxious to see what you guys might think of some ideas that I had for Oklahoma. So we'll do that, and then we'll get right into the actual spinning of the wheel for the draft and the free agents period. We're going to do it all here in this episode. So I don't actually envision this happening like, too long. I don't think that this stream is going to be too long. I think it'd probably be about an hour. In my opinion, we're going to move through this thing pretty quickly. But let me get here to the chat and see what you guys are saying here. I'm actually anxious to see what we're thinking about the stadium for our boys here for the Oklahoma Hawks. See what you guys are saying in the comment section here. Who do we got here? We've got Sports Gaming Josh. We've got KJ here. We've got Lucas, Braden J, Kev's Geeked Up Sports Gamings. Yeah, everybody's in here today. Can't wait for Boston's new logo. This is KJ. Oklahoma winning it all. This is Luke. Maybe. All right, so a couple things I came across. Obviously, you got to get an Oklahoma type feel. Now, I'm not opposed to like doing something like this triple decker where it looks pretty standard. The Fenway Park. We can rename these stadiums. But let me know in the live chat if you see something that stands out to you. What's up, Connor? Anything but Hogwarts. Okay? Anything but Hogwarts. Like, this one's not too bad. Mountie Park. Yeah, it's in Canada, but this is kind of cool for Oklahoma. Now, I did actually search Oklahoma in the search terms. A lot of what came up, there were a couple cool things, but a lot of what came up was the Sooners. So people took their crack at making an Oklahoma Sooners ballpark. But this one's actually not bad either. Sennheiser Investments Stadium. That's actually pretty cool looking, actually, for Oklahoma. I kind of like that. I kind of like that one. This one's not too bad. Southwest University, but it's a little barren. Have you guys seen anyone that you like so far? That one's not too bad. Killers Park. I'd get rid of Harper, Griffey, Pujols, but yeah. So the prison. I remember when wasn't it your friend Kyle that made that? College World Series is interesting to me for Oklahoma because it's very basic. This is actually pretty cool. It's got the flags out there. Got the modern day building in the back left. It's got some light poles up there. Very bowl type of stadium. I think this one's actually pretty cool. Omaha, Nebraska for College World Series. I would assume that it looks almost identical to that, but yeah, I War Thunder, I agree with you. I think I like the Sennheiser one, but I kind of like this College World Series one too. I think that's pretty cool looking. So yeah, I'm gonna put it up to a vote for you guys between those two, because I don't want to have this process take too long. Do you guys like College World Series, or do you like Sennheiser? And I'll show Sennheiser one more time if I can find it here. It should be on the third page, I think. Yeah, there it is right there. You guys like Sennheiser for Oklahoma, or do you like College World Series? So Sports Game and Josh, War Thunder, you guys both said Sennheiser. KJ says College World Series. Kind of got a little bit of a split vote right there. Little split vote. I think we'll do Sennheiser, because that College World Series one, yeah. Braden says College World. He likes College World Series, but it needs a scoreboard. My alter ego Chinbeard would vote for College World Series. I like College World Series, but I think this one's more pro. Like, you're ready to spend some money, you know what I mean? So let's download this one. I think that's the one we're gonna go with. So if we can take a look here at the wall and the dimensions here. Customize the walls. Okay. Dude, I have not made a stadium in so long. So about 382, 345 to left. Okay. All right. Cool. I like this. It's pretty sweet. Can we get the zoom out here? Yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So Oklahoma. All right, it looks like it's just like menacing, like you're trapped in, you know. It's like the bird cage. I think that's what we're gonna call it for the Hawks, the bird cage. Look at this. This is kind of cool too. This little. Ooh, that's actually pretty sweet. Somebody who took a lot of time in this. Look at all the different levels out here. Yeah. That's pretty sweet. I like this. Plus, you got a little strip here with the restaurants at center field. Ooh, back here. Look at this. This is exactly how a stadium would look. This is a beaut. Ooh, look at what they got here. So by the dugouts, they've got the fans in the back with the dugouts, and down over here, they've got another little snack spot right there. It's actually pretty sweet. Okay, so whoever made Sennheiser, you're a stadium boss, man. I like this. All right, so we are going to go to File Management. We're going to save this baby up, and we will apply it to Oklahoma. We're going to take over... nope, we don't want to do that. We're going to save the changes, I think. I think that's how you do it. I think you can save changes. Yeah, we're going to replace Megadex. Okay. You want to save the stadium to the vault? Yeah, sure. I'm not going to take credit for it, even though it's going to say that I uploaded this. But I think this is cool. All right, so the new stadium for Oklahoma. We're going to rename it. So you guys can come up in the chat what you think, you want to rename it to, but it's not going to be Sennheiser Investments or whatever it's called. So whoever made this, if you're watching this, if you somehow come across this, sweet. But, that's not what we're going to name it. We're going to name it something else here. But that will be the stadium for the Oklahoma Hawks. So kudos to whoever made that. And let's get right into our wheel spins, baby. Let's do it. All right, here we go. So, guys, come up with some names, what you think that stadium should be named. Now, a little update here. I have not done the arbitration or the tendering of contracts yet. I have not gotten to that point. I've been busy making custom prospects. Now, the cool thing about this new process about how we're doing not the GGBL Draft per se, but the custom prospects per se, is you get to actually see what they look like. And before, we haven't been able to do that, and now we do. So here's a guy for an example. Walker Latier. A potential 75. You can see his hot and cold zones here. The negatives and the big boosts and positives there. Just keep in mind that's to kind of, because we took over players that were CPU generated, and now we're like trying to, find guys with good preset left and right hot cold zones that make sense for the player, and then we're renaming them. We're basically creating an entirely different new player. So don't mind the negatives and the positives. This is just what the player is now. And but yeah, this is cool because you guys get to actually see these guys in action here. So Braden Leroy, little preview here of what this guy looks like. Second baseman, outfielder, hits righties very, very well. So he's not going to be intimidated by a righty on righty matchup. So he's going to be pretty good. Ricky Piper, another solid player, got a lot of speed, pretty good defender, good contact hitter, power hitter not so much, but yeah, he's got some good numbers there against lefties, good switch hitter as well. Garrett Stanton is going to be a really good pitcher, man. Look at the velocity here. He can get up to 98, 90 on a slider, and then drops it way down on that 12-6 hammer, and then the splitter at 88. So he's going to look like he's going to be pretty good. Darren Woods, another starting pitcher here, got a lot of velo. He's hitting 99 and a 97 cutter out of Canada. 21-year-old, 6'2". Charles Hemingway, he's a little short, stocky guy, 5'7", 215, but he's got a lot of heat. He can throw a lot of gas up there, but everything else is soft. Fastball is coming in pretty heavy. Cash Fortuna, he's probably the most well-rounded prospect in all the draft here. You guys can see the numbers there. He's got good speed, good fielding. Power's at 51-48. Power's okay, but that contact, that's going to really help his power numbers as it is. But Cash Fortuna, switch hitter. Look at what he does against righties. He's going to be a big-time player, 6'3" outfielder. You know it. Now, this is one of the better CPU-generated players. I kept him the same, so Willie Escobar is going to just be treated as a free agent, not as a part of the draft. But I thought he was cool, so I just kept him. Let's see if we can find anybody else here down low. We got Brandon Catfish. Look at the power numbers, 20. He's not a power hitter at all. Contact, speed, and fielding type of player. Mr. Paul Blart. Now, if you're watching, if the guy that made Paul Blart is watching, I hopefully I did you proud here. He looks exactly like Paul Blart. I hope that I did you proud there. But it should be a good, solid catcher there with good power numbers, good fielding numbers. Clayton Hall. Look at the contact here for Clayton Hall. Now, he's one of the more interesting prospects, in my opinion. He's got a lot of speed. He's got a good arm, pretty good vision, really good contact. Power, not so much it'll play. But as a first baseman, he's normally an outfielder, but he's learning the position to play first base. He had an injury. It's part of his storyline. He had an injury that is forbidding him to play a lot of outfield. So we got to stick him at first base. So he's normally an outfielder, kind of a slap type of hitter, but he's now going to be transferring over to first base. Whoever gets this guy is going to be working with more of a DH type of thing. Samuel Woodson, strong arm, good power, got to work on the contact as a catcher. Hans Brolo, if you can take a look at this guy, got really good power actually. He's probably going to be one of the better players too, out of Poland. A redhead guy out of Poland. Don't see that too often. Jay Lautrec. I think it's Lautrec. This was Diabolus's guy. So I know that he told me how to pronounce it, but it has been a couple weeks. But he's got really good hot and cold zones there out of Michigan. Martin Serrato out of Mexico. B potential players, 70 overall. Lefty. Best pitch is a 12-6. Change up. More of an off-speed type of guy, lefty. He wears the pink glove to honor his mom that died of breast cancer. So just a little backstory there. Devin McDreamy, number 69. Go figure that. Soft type of thrower. He must be hard elsewhere. Shinji Nishii. This is one of my favorite players in all of the class. I'm not going to lie to you. Got a lot of speed, some decent fielding numbers, decent hitter, 70A. He's a little bit of a project, but I think he's going to pay a lot of dividends to a team that gets him some playing time. 5'9" out of Japan. He's going to be a good player, I think. Bats lefty, can hit righties very well. Like it. Kenny Middleman. Third baseman. Take a look at those hot, cold zones, man. Good power, good contact. That'll play. He's probably going to be a DH for most teams as a 70B. That fielding. Probably not going to play a lot of third base. Now, Zach Ariza. Look at the power numbers. Contact will play. Decent fielding. Really good speed as a first baseman outfielder. He's kind of the same thing as we saw at Clayton Hall. So maybe he's probably going to be more of a DH guy. But you could get him out there in the outfield if you needed him to, because he does play some good outfield with that speed. Samuel Fletcher, not much of a fielder, more of a hitter. You can see it from those numbers there. 70 power, 65 contact, so that he's going to be good. This guy's fake. Jerome Riley, take a look at the stamina and this velocity, man. Oof. He throws nothing soft. Four seam, 99. Cutter, 95. 83 slurve, 92 sinker. A potential right-hander, 6'1". Sirius Amaya, reliever out of Kansas. Throws hard. Chris Green, one of the more interesting prospects himself. Got a lot of speed and power. So he's that speed, power prototype. Contact, decent. Fielding, not really there. Now, Vladimir Drago. This is an interesting one. He's out of Russia, and I know there's a lot of bad stuff about Russia, but he's escaping. Let's just say that. He's escaping Russia. We got really good power numbers out of Vladimir Drago. He is in somehow relation to Ivan Drago out of Rocky. Go figure, right? This little fake world. We're going to get down to the 65s here. I won't preview these guys per se, but just so you can kind of take a look at them. But if your guy is in here, you can see him. Dalton Golston, Sven Ragnarsson, Christian Dottler, William Misery, probably. Merrick McDougald, or McDougland, I should say. Blaine Veldhuis. I had a really fun time making Blaine Veldhuis. Brian Lefevre. No relation to the quarterback, though. Amit Letterman. Yes, we have another Letterman. Go figure that. Zach Zumwalt. Sammy Soriano. Another left-handed starting pitcher. And that, I believe, would do it. I think we have a couple other... I think we have 160 overall player as a custom prospect. But now you guys can kind of get a feel for who they are and kind of who, if you get that guy, you'll kind of have an idea of what you're getting, really. So, guys, let's now move over here to the screen cap because we're getting ready to actually do the draft, baby. Let's do it. We're going to start with the patrons first, just like I told you guys in the last couple of streams. That's how we run this thing. We start with the patrons first, and then we run to the All-Star winners, which would be a 70A. So we'll start with the patrons because they are paying patrons. They need to go first. Then we'll move over to the 70A. We'll reset. They don't have a top 5 list. Patrons do have a top 5 list, and here they are here. So we'll wheel spin, and as you guys know, if the Phoenix Firebirds draft Sammy Soriano, any instance of Phoenix Firebirds here with patrons has to get removed. So Martin Serrato would not be with Phoenix. He'd have to go with San Diego, Minnesota, or Atlanta. I think I added a 5th team on there for Serrato. So that's how we're going to do it. Every team is going to be able to draft from the 70A group and then to the 70B group. And then we'll reset it here for the All-Star check-ins at 65B. That way it's fair. It's fair. Now, as far as draft order goes, this is how the draft order will go, excluding the patrons. So as you know, the patrons get to pick their top 5 teams. These players here in the All-Star winners, Game of the Week, and All-Star check-ins, they will follow suit with the draft order. So it is entirely possible that a team in this draft order could get a patron and one of these players here in All-Star Game of the Week or check-in, so if that makes sense. But here's your draft order from worst to first. So St. Louis, Portland, Wisconsin, Miami, Columbus. Again, this is all sorted by losses. Atlanta, Colorado, Philly, New York, Oklahoma. Let's see. We've got the playoff teams down below. The LA Knights. Actually, this should be swapped. So Carolina should be here, and Seattle should be here. So we'll fix that a little bit later, but not that it really matters because all these players are, fairly good. All right, so let's get it started, man. Let's get it started. We've got the $20 patrons first, and let's go ahead and open that up. We're going to start with Braden Leroy as the number 1 draft pick here. So Braden Leroy, he's got Richmond, Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Washington, and Columbus. So if can you guys see my screen here? I just want to make sure that you guys are good. Let me get to my phone here so I can actually see what you guys are seeing here. Let's go, Chris Green, says Braden. Zeltron says you can see it. All right, cool. So let's get it underway. Braden Leroy, first overall pick in year number 4. What do we got? What do we got? Of course he goes to the Washington Swamp Monsters. This is one of his favorite teams. And if any of you guys are interested in any note-taking, this would be great. Now I do have this as a backup. I can see it. I can rewatch it, making sure that these guys get signed up to where they were drafted. But if someone in the chat could keep track, that would be great. I would be grateful. All right, so Washington goes with Braden Leroy. Next up will be another $20 patron, which will be Cash Fortuna. He is next. So as long as Washington is not here, we're good. We got 5 teams, right? Vegas, Richmond, Miami, Philly, and Santa Fe. So here we go. So Cash Fortuna. Here we go. Ooh, the Philadelphia Flight. Oh, man, that's so good. They needed a guy like that. Absolutely needed a guy like that. Oh, they have been lacking any sort of athleticism, offensive prowess. They just don't have it. So this is great. This is really good for Philadelphia. I'm really excited that they were able to go out and get a guy like that. So Leroy to Washington, Fortuna to Philly. Hemingway is next. He's a starting pitcher. Boston, Richmond, Swamp Monsters are gone because they got Leroy. So it's between Boston, Richmond, LA, and San Diego. So here we go. All right, cool. Thanks, War Thunder. He said he's got me, so that's cool. Charles Hemingway, starting pitcher, going to go to San Diego. They need it. That's actually going to be good, really good for them too. They've already got Bumgarner. They've got Marco Gonzalez. I'm missing another player there. Jack Flaherty's from Philadelphia. Anyway, they got a big. Oh, Gonsolin. It's Gonsolin. So they got a big 3 already. Charles Hemingway is a 75A. So he's going to come in right away and compete. Like to see that. All right, next up we've got Darren Woods. So we had Hemingway, Fortuna, Leroy. We got Darren Woods coming up next. And nobody on this list has drafted a patron yet. So here we go. I hope he goes to Wisconsin. Honestly, I hope it's Wisconsin. No, Darren Woods. Oh, man, I was hoping for another player. But Darren Woods, hey, we'll take a 75 patron. Right? We'll take Darren Woods. Remember, Darren Woods is that guy out of Canada. Starting pitching. Man, he's a flamethrower. That 99 four-seam, 97 cutter. Richmond needs another starter like that. That's good. That's really good for them. But for those of you guys that have other players that were hoping for Richmond, Darren Woods is our guy. All right. So Garrett Stanton, he wanted a list. If I can show you guys this, he wanted a list. Make a wheel of all of the teams that did not make the playoffs. So we are going to oblige by that. So Washington is gone. They drafted a custom. Philadelphia's gone. They drafted a custom. And San Diego's gone too. And that should do it, right? So Richmond, let's see, Colorado, Portland, St. Louis, New Orleans, Nashville, Dallas. Okay, we should be good. Yep, should be good. All right, Garrett Stanton. To get the services of Mr. Garrett Stanton. Good starting pitcher, too. Wisconsin! That's great. You know why that's great? Because this was Sequestral's guy, one of our channel moderators. He has a player already on Wisconsin, Matt Justice. And it's really good that they got a starting pitcher out of this whole ordeal because they got rid of Tyler Mahle last season, if you guys remember that. So Garrett Stanton is a Wisconsin Maple. Love that. All right, let's see if there's any other $20 here. We got Walker Lettier and Ricky Piper. I think that should do it for the $20 patrons. Okay, so let's do Ricky Piper next. Wisconsin and San Diego are gone. So we got Seattle, Minnesota, and Michigan for the services of left fielder Ricky Piper. Michigan. Get Mr. Ricky Piper. That'd be good for them. They need some outfield help. They're getting a little old in that area. So to get a 21-year-old patron like that, it's going to be good for them. All right, so Walker Lettier. Now, hey, guys, this is a dude that I created. I didn't tell you that, but I created this guy. And I put Richmond on there because I wanted to make sure that, hey, people like Richmond. I want my guy, but unfortunately, Walker's not going to come to us. But Wisconsin, if you guys notice here, I put Vegas. They need a third baseman. Maples need a third baseman. Houston is desperate at that spot, and Nashville is as well. So I made sure to, like, because what I'm noticing is a lot of our patrons are sticking with teams that they already have players on, which is kind of a problem because we're basically making super teams at that point. So I wanted to put teams on here that could get this guy that would really need it, and all these teams really need it. So let me share my screen again real quick because I think you guys should, like, I should be held accountable, basically. But if we go here to the NL and we go to third base for Nashville, they could use a 75, 21-year-old A potential. Houston as well, there's 69. And I think who else was there? There was Houston. Okay, Las Vegas, yeah. So Las Vegas, where are you at? Las Vegas. Yeah, they've got Andy Ibanez right now. So third base is an absolute need for them. So Walker Lettier, where's he going? Where's he going? Nashville. That's a good addition. That is a good addition. They needed it. They needed it. All right, so our $20 patrons are finished up. We can now move on to our $10 patrons, which I think there's only one, which will be Martin Serrato. And we're going to have to eliminate San Diego, Phoenix, Minnesota, Atlanta, Chicago. So we're good here. So where is Serrato going to go? He's that left-hander, soft thrower. Looks like he's going out to Atlanta. So they continue to add pitching. That's a good addition right there for Atlanta. What isn't a good addition here, by the way? You know, if you can hit on these types of prospects, what isn't a good addition? All right, so we've got two $5 ones, Soriano, Misery, and Bill John. What a name. So we're going to go to Sammy Soriano first. Richmond has one. Pittsburgh. Boston, New York, Phoenix, Pittsburgh. All right, so we're good here. Sammy Soriano, another left-handed pitcher. Sports Gaming Josh. Ooh, Goldie prospect. Yep, there you go. Sammy Soriano going to Phoenix. It's not like they need any pitching help. Jeez, oh, Pete's, man. The rich get richer. It's unreal. William Misery. I think Philly. Okay, so Philly, Richmond. We got guys Dallas, Seattle, Carolina. So William Misery, another outfielder. Seattle. Okay, all right. That's good for them. They need another young outfielder to help them out. All right, dudes. So our patron prospects are finished up. That means we can move on here to the 70A potential winners. All-Star Prize winners 70A. And we are going to now follow the draft order. So you guys can see on your screen here, we got all of these 70A players, but we're going to follow the actual draft order. So this pick right now will be for St. Louis, and then we're going to move out to Portland, Wisconsin, Miami, Columbus. You guys get the idea here. So we're going to go straight down the line. We're going to do 70A first, and then we're going to do 70B next, and then we're going to finish it off with 65B here. So we'll finish off all of the prize winners, and that'll be it for the draft. And then we'll move out here to free agency and start spinning wheels for that and figure out who's going where. Now, for the free agents stuff, I didn't do it the same as year 2 because we had a ton of really good players coming in for year 2. This season, this free agent class is very light. So I didn't do the same process. So we're just gonna go we're just gonna randomize everything and see who goes where. But all right, let's get started. We've got the 70A prize winners here. Let's see where one of these guys are gonna go to St. Louis. So Vladimir Drago, center field, first baseman, heading out to St. Louis, the Maroons, as the worst team in the GGBL last season. It's a pretty good addition in my opinion. So you get the 70A player, Vladimir Drago. I like it. He's it's not without controversy, being Russian, but he's coming over for a good reason. He's fleeing the country. All right, let's go to the next one. Next team will be the Portland Pioneers. Who are they drafting here? Sirius Amaya, the 70 overall relief pitcher. All right. Next up, Wisconsin and then Miami. Wisconsin. Maybe they go, there's no other pitcher up on the board, so they're going to go with Hans Brolo, first base outfield. He's going to look good. Remember, he's got that red hair. He's going to look good in Wisconsin. That red and white jersey. Miami's next. I think they're going to go with Shinji. That's who I think. Shinji. No, they're going to go with Zach Araiza. Zach Araiza to Miami. Next up, Columbus and in Atlanta. Columbus, Clayton Hall. Clayton Hall. No. Man, this is tough. It's tough guessing out here. Samuel Woodson, the catcher, first baseman. Going to Columbus. It's not a bad addition. I think they need a catcher. So that's not too bad of an ad right there. Next up, the Atlanta Sting. Paul Blart. Nope, Clayton Hall. So David Ott is in the house. I can see that he sent the last message here. So Clayton Hall, sir, you are going to Atlanta. Colorado, Philly. So we got 3 players up on the board left. We got Colorado, Philly, and New York. So Colorado's pick is right here. I know Sports Gaming Josh, he wants Catfish, but they're going to go with Shinji Nishii out in Colorado. That's not a bad addition either, because they needed, you could argue, Catfish, because he doesn't have a lot of power, but that 20 power might play out there in Colorado, but they do need some infield help. Like, second base is a definite need for them, so they got lucky right there. All right, so Philadelphia, who we got? Paul Blart. Philadelphia, I swear, the storyline for Philadelphia would be that they just, God, they're not good at drafting. They like power. Like, that's their focus, I feel like. They like power and not a lot of contact. They'd rather have power over contact. But Brandon Catfish, you're going to New York. This is just an honorary spin. There you go. So Brandon Catfish goes to New York. All right, so that's going to do it for that wheel. Let's move out here to the 65, or the 70Bs, I should say. 70Bs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 players here. And we're going to start with Oklahoma and work our way down. So let's see. Who do we got here? So it's going to stop at New Orleans. We got Oklahoma, Santa Fe, Washington, San Diego, Boston, and New Orleans. Those are going to be the 6 teams that draft the 70B overall players. This is for Oklahoma. Now, if Dalton Jett is super lucky, they're going to get Devin McDreamy. But it's just going to sneak out to Jerome Riley. That's really good. They need a guy that's going to complement Reagan Landish out there. Other starting pitcher. They needed that one. Santa Fe Spirit up next. All right, left field outfielder Samuel Fletcher going to Santa Fe. They didn't really need the outfield, so it's kind of a crappy luck right there. I think they would rather have gone with like Blevins or McDreamy or Middleman right there. That would have been good for him. Washington's up next. Oof. Just sneaking past Art Blevins. Washington gets Kenny Middleman. He's going to have a tough time like sneaking in because they've got Alexander King on the corner at first. They've got Taylor over there at third base. So I don't know where he's going to find time to play, but San Diego's up next. Jace Lautrec going to San Diego. Second base, first base. Kind of an interesting combination there, but we'll see how he does out in San Diego. They just signed Altuve last season. They've got Virgil Underwood, or Underhill, I think. Yeah, first base. So he's also going to have a hard time finding playing time. But it's kind of the deal. Like, you guys that got into this series early, you guys lucked out a little bit because now the longer that we go, your prospects are going to have harder times trying to find playing time. But Devin McDreamy is going to Boston, starting pitcher. And then as an honorary role, Art Blevins going to New Orleans. So New Orleans actually lucked out here too, by the way. Because like I mentioned, they need a third baseman. So they kind of lucked out there. All right, so that's going to do it here with 70B potential. And we're going to move out to 65B potential. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 8 players up on the board. And that will get us to Richmond. We just got the cutoff. We're going to get 2 players. Yeah, baby. We're going to get 2 players. So Chicago, Las Vegas. Did somebody draft last? No, wait. Chicago didn't get a guy. Houston didn't get a guy, I don't think. Seattle, Carolina, San Fran, or LA. So I mean that's not terrible, you know. It's hit or miss as it is. So yeah. Let's just keep going. All right. Next up on the clock, we've got Pittsburgh and then Phoenix. Pittsburgh, what do you got? Sven Ragnarsson going to Pittsburgh. Phoenix up next. Indiana after that. Phoenix going with Christian Dottler. Now, Christian Dottler, I think, is more of a speed, like, defense guy, I think is what we saw here for him. So that's not too bad of an addition for Phoenix, but they got 2 players here in the draft. Next up, Indiana. They're going to stop on Brian Lefevre. Indiana, now they just traded with Seattle for a top catching prospect, but they got a catcher third base balance there with Brian Lefevre. That's a good addition for him. Dallas and Nashville. And then that will do it for the non-playoff teams. Then we'll get into the playoff group. So who are we at here? We're at Dallas. Dallas is going to go with Dalton Goldson, catcher, first baseman. And then the final pick of the non-playoff teams will be for Nashville, and they're going to get Amit Laterman. So they continue to add to their pitching. Nashville, it's funny how this all works out. It's all random, but the fact that these teams like continue to like, even through randomization, they still like continue to pound that team identity. It's funny to me. So they've already got a really good pitching staff. It's just funny that they went that way. Okay, so Letterman's going to Nashville. Goldson goes to Dallas. Now we're going to go with Michigan, Minnesota, and Richmond, and then that'll do it for the GGBL draft. Now, as far as these other teams go, like Chicago, Vegas, Houston, Seattle, I'll make sure that inside free agency that I'm adding guys that, you know, were supposed to be drafted, that were CPU generated, that were supposed to get drafted on the teams. Because I didn't, as you guys know, I didn't sign anybody, any youthful guys over to those teams. So I'll figure that out on my own. But I mean, I'll make sure it's fair. But either way, all right, let's keep going. We got Michigan, Minnesota, and then Richmond. Zach Zumwalt is going to Michigan, right fielder, third base. That's not too bad. Like I said, they already drafted an outfielder before, but to have that balance there, to switch Zumwalt over there to third base in the future after Alex Bregman, that could be a good addition for him. Next up will be Minnesota. Oh, yes. Oh, that's great. Merrick McDougland going to Minnesota, and a guy that I had spent so much time on creating, Blaine Veldhuis. He's going to Richmond. God. Oh, man, we're getting lucky here. Richmond's getting lucky. We just might win this thing next season, man. Year 4 might be our year. But he's kind of blocked. We got Joshua Torre, we got Kyle Lewis, we got Michael Ruth. We're kind of blocked in that regard. But Blaine Veldhuis, I love that. That's so good. Going to Richmond. All right, so that's going to do it for our draft. So all the custom prospects have been created. They've all been signed up. We are ready to get into free agency. And like I said, so for Chicago, Vegas, Houston, these playoff teams that didn't get a chance to actually draft someone, let me share my screen here real quick. So what we'll do for like Vegas or something, so I'll look through their lineups and I'll think to myself, you know, kind of what's the best route for them. It looks like they might need, maybe they need an outfielder, you know, maybe third base is what they need to look at. So I'll go into here in a free agency, look at third baseman, and then just find a guy that makes sense for him, like this dude, like Alfredo Garcia, right? 67C, he'd be a good player to add for him. That would be kind of the route that I take. Now a guy like Willie Escobar, you know, maybe you want to do that, guys, just for fun. Like just make a Willie Escobar wheel. He's a potential player. You know, I don't want to like put that onto somebody. Let's do it. Let's do it. Willie Escobar. Where's he gonna go? Let's do it. Let's do it with these playoff teams here. So Chicago. Did any of these teams draft a patron already? I don't think Vegas did. Houston didn't. I think we're good, guys, right? So War Thunder was keeping track. Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Chris, good point there. My bad. So Chris Green, 70B. Good catch. Good catch. Let's go to, it doesn't matter where we go. Oh, Bill John. I don't think we drafted for Bill John, did we? Did we draft for Bill John? War Thunder, where's my dude? War Thunder. Did I draft for Bill John? I don't even remember Bill John, where he went. Because I don't remember this big of a list. Because Bill John said any. I think there's 2 guys that we didn't draft for. Okay, so Bill John did not get drafted. So let's see. does he list any of those teams here? So we've got Vegas. I don't want to take too long here. Let's just find the playoff teams here, right? So Defenders are gone. Coyotes are gone. These guys are gone. Houston, I think, didn't draft anybody. Nashville, Dallas, Philly, Richmond, Miami, Atlanta, Phoenix. Seattle didn't draft anybody. Vegas. This is the whole roster sheet, by the way. Chicago didn't draft anybody. So we're going to put the playoff teams here for them. Michigan was a playoff team, but they drafted a guy. Pittsburgh, New York, Boston, and Washington. Okay, so this is good. All right, so we got Chicago, Vegas, Seattle, Carolina, Houston. Okay. Yep. All right, cool. So we'll do this for Bill John. And then whoever gets off of this board will have Chris Green get drafted here. So Bill John goes to Seattle. Didn't Seattle draft somebody, though? Let's do this again. Seattle had already drafted a player. I kind of wanted to do it where... All right, let's spin it again here. So at least everybody at least gets one guy. You know what I mean? So Mr. Bill John going to San Francisco. Cool. All right. Now, this says Bill John, but this will be for Chris Green. Okay? This will be for Chris Green. You got LA, Houston, Carolina, Vegas, or Chicago. So Chris Green, a 70 overall B potential outfielder. Watch him go to LA. Watch him go to LA. Stop. Stop. God. All right, cool. He's going to Houston. Going to Houston. All right, cool. I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's it. Because I know Chris Green was a guy that I had to download from the vault. I had to make in here. So I think we're good. So the only teams to not be able to draft someone would be Chicago, Vegas, Carolina, and LA. So, Willie Escobar. Right? We got to figure out where Willie Escobar is going to go. That's 70A. 74A. So where's he going to go? Probably LA. Don't you dare. Okay, Las Vegas. Cool. So Willie Escobar, Las Vegas. That should do it. That should do it. Now, let's go move over to the free agent side of things, guys. So congratulations on getting drafted, everybody that played in the contest, that were patrons for at least 1 month during the season of year 3. So thank you guys for donating to the channel. I think you guys get your worth out of this. I hope you do. Being able to see your players, good players, really take off in the series. So that's all I have to say about that. So if you guys are interested in getting players, make sure you're playing in the contests, or you can always donate to the channel for a month and then cancel after that, and at least just get your player. That's how best to get your players inside this league. Okay, so for free agency now, you will see, just kind of like we've always done it, is I want to give the non-playoff teams more chances, so pie slices, than the playoff teams. So we got 6 here for LA. They had 61 losses, which is the least amount of losses in the entire league. So they get 6 slices. So basically just you take the first number, right? Minnesota had 78 losses. You take 7. So all the non-playoff teams, they actually take their losses and multiply them by 2. So they're getting double the chance, right? So 76, 7 slices times the 2 is 14. So Nashville, Dallas, St. Louis, they have more chances, more opportunities to land on free agents than the playoff teams do. So I hope that makes sense. It takes me out of it. It leaves it all randomized for us to determine where guys are going to go. So let's get a little preview here really quick on the actual free agent list. And like you guys know by now, it is very slim. It's very, very slim. I mean, we're talking about Reyes Maranta and Miles McCollus and Castellanos being the top free agents this season. It's a weak free agent class. So I'm not doing it the way that I did it in year 2, where I asked you guys to, like, you know, look at the rosters, determine like a top 3 need. Like it got kind of crazy. So it was cool that you guys were involved in that, but like we're getting down to like the Chad Cools of the world. Okay? That's what we're talking about right now. And then we get into the 70As, which are all drafted players anyway, right? Evan Longoria, Gregory Polanco, this type of stuff. So guys that are most likely not even going to start onto GGBL teams, even if they got signed. They're probably not likely to start. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go all the way from the top down to 70s. And most of those 70s were already guys that were drafted, so we don't even have to worry about this. But, all right, so first guy up on the board will be Maranta. And we are going to go ahead and spin that wheel. So again, just as you know, the Atlanta Sting have 18 chances, I believe, is what that number was for them. Atlanta has 18 more. Well, they've got 18 slices. They've got 12 more slices than LA. So they've got 12 more chances, basically. Now, I'm gonna shuffle this so that, you know, we're not grouping them together, making it just a fair shot for everybody. So this is for Reyes Maranta, relief pitcher, 83 overall. Let's find out where he goes. I'm just reading your guys' chat here. Maples and Rams are my teams now. Thanks, War Daddy. All right, so this is good for them. I mean, last season they really hit the, well, in year 1 free agency, year 2 free agency, they really hit the relief side of things really hard. So that's good news for Santa Fe. Because the free agents class is not that loaded, I'm just going to remove the one instance for Santa Fe. So they signed, where were they at here? Santa Fe had 16 wheel slices. Now they've got 15. So I'm going to keep it there because I want to see some parity at least. You know what I mean? I want to see some change in this league. I think we're getting to the point now where Carolina's good, LA's good, San Francisco's good, Richmond's there. I need teams that are bad to like get better quickly because we don't have a lot more seasons left of this. So I'm not going to completely remove Santa Fe from the entire list. So they could go out and they could grab Miles McCollus, which is the next guy up here on the board. So let's spin that wheel. It's not likely, but if they land on it, more power to them. More power to them. All right, so this is for the services of Miles McCollus, Dallas. Shane, getting a sharp exhale out of Goldie's nose is what I'm here for. When did I do that? All right, Dallas goes with Miles McCollus. Now, next up, Nick Castellanos. Ooh, Nicholas Castellanos. Ooh, this is going to be between him and Puig and Donaldson, maybe. This might be the biggest addition for any team on this board. Nick Castellanos. Here we go. Who's going to grab a fearsome power hitter in this league? No! 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 Come on! God, it just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Why? Why does that happen? Why? There's 30 teams. There's 30 teams. And he's got to go out to New York. That's brutal, man. That's absolutely brutal. So he goes from LA to New York. One pinstripe set to the next. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. All right. right, next up is 81 overall, Yasiel Puig. Watch, Richmond Good Boys. Are you freaking kidding me, dude? New York again? So they get 2 of the... Oh my god, they're reloading. They're reloading. They've got Castellanos and Puig now with Harper, mind you. So New York is reloading big time. All right, next up we got Jorge Alfaro, 81 overall catcher. Let's see what happens. I know, dude, it's insane. It's completely ridiculous. New York's going to win the AL East. Philadelphia Flights. Okay, so Alfaro is really going to help that pitching staff for Philadelphia. So that's a good addition by them. Nice to see something different. You know, nice to see something different. All right, we are now in the 70 overall range at this point now. So we got Donaldson, Goody, Sweeney would be a good addition for anybody. Odorizzi, Darvish, Eichhoff, Covey. We're going to skip Alexander King because this is not the real Alexander King. This is the one with 7 years of MLB service, which is not correct. So we're gonna move past that. But let's go figure out Josh Donaldson. Where is this man gonna go? Man, that New York thing, dude. God dang it! It just doesn't change, man. It doesn't change. All right, Josh Donaldson, where are you? Where are you going here? Grizzlies. So, what does that signal? What does that signal for Will Till? Is Will Till going to be able to hold on to that job? You know, this is a team that, you know, San Francisco, they need to start winning some playoff games. They need to get past that wild card spot. So, guys that are not taking the next step, you're kind of on the chopping block. So, what does that do for Will Till? Does he get upset? Does he request a trade? I don't know. But they are going to sign Josh Donaldson. So, next up, Nick Goody. Nick Goody, relief pitcher, 79 overall. Got really good hits per 9, 91 hit per 9, K per 9, 89. Swing. They need some relief help. That'll help them. Darnell Sweeney, 79 overall player. Outfielder that actually, he steals a lot of bags in gameplay. Maples. Good. Good. We need these teams to do things. I'm so sick and tired of New York, LA, Carolina. Next up, Jake Odorizzi, 78 C potential player. Be a good addition for any staff, but Jake Odorizzi is going to go to Boston. So Boston loses Miles McCollus. They get Odorizzi. That's going to be a good little replacement addition for him. Next up, Yu Darvish, 78A. Yu Darvish, coming from Washington. So he's seen a little bit of regression. He's 37 years old now. This would be the kind of Portland Pioneers move, wouldn't it? You know, a team that's kind of a cellar dweller. They need a veteran arm in there. Yeah, so Yu Darvish heading out to Portland. So they're improving their staff, but you know, how long is that going to last for Darvish? But while he's there, he can pass on his knowledge to the young guys. Next up, Jared Eichhoff. Excuse me, Jared Eichhoff going to Washington, 78C player. So kind of funny, right? So they lose Yu Darvish, and now they're getting Jared Eichhoff as a reliever. Dylan Covey, 77C. Where's he headed to? Hammers? Is that right? Is I'm reading that? Moonshots. Adding a pitcher. Ryan Healy, first base, 76 overall. Ryan Healy. Wisconsin. Yeah, Wisconsin's making moves, baby. Love it. They're challenging out there in the Central. All right, let's get a little update here real quick. Up on your screen. So we had Alfaro going to Philadelphia. Donaldson going to San Francisco. Nick Goody. Where did Nick Goody go? Frick. I forgot where Nick Goody went. Anyway, we can scroll back. Darnell Sweeney goes No, Nick Goody went to New Orleans, right? Sweeney went to Wisconsin. Odorizzi went to Boston. Yu Darvish went to Frick. Where did Yu Darvish go? Portland. He went to Portland. Jared Eichhoff goes to Washington. Dylan Covey. Crap, I don't remember where Dylan Covey went. Ryan Healy goes to Wisconsin. So there's your update. There's your update. We got to figure out where Dylan Covey went to. Walker Latier was a custom, so we're now moving out to the 75 range, which is Dan Altavilla. So let's do him really quick, and then we'll kind of scroll past that list again, because we got a lot of rookies down in that range. So this is for Dan Altavilla, Colorado Coyotes. So they need some relief help for sure. That's a good addition for them. Definitely. We're actually almost done, believe it or not, guys, because we have a ton of these 70 ranged prospects. So we can move past Braden Leroy, Ricky Piper. I'm going to move past Villanueva because this is another guy with 75A. So we can wheel spin for him. Actually, you know what? Let's wheel spin for him, right? I didn't do it with the draft. Actually, you know what? Let's send him over to a team that didn't get a draft pick, which, if I'm looking at this correctly, would have been like Carolina, I think. Yeah. Vegas got somebody. Houston got somebody. Seattle. Let's send him over to, because these guys made the World Series, right? Let's send him over to San Francisco. So Brian Villanueva going to San Fran. So let's just make that canon. Let's just make that canon. I'm good with it. Stanton was drafted. Hernan Perez would be the next guy coming up. And then Ben Gamel, Chad Kuhl, Keon Broxton, Arcia. So we're starting to dwindle down on this list a little bit. So Hernan Perez is 75, second baseman. Let's go back to our wheel spin here and find out where Hernan Perez is headed to. Shane, you can hear my kids screaming right now? Are you serious? I'm downstairs. I got the door shut. How can you hear that? Holy crap. If that's the case, that's embarrassing. Ugh. So, all right. So, Santa Fe going to Hernan Perez. Next up, we got Customs, Darren Woods, Hemingway, Fortuna. This is for Ben Gamel. 75 overall. Good fielder. Good contact hitter. Good outfielder. If he goes back to Columbus, that's where he came from. That'd be funny. St. Louis. Okay. All right. Just a nice little addition. Chad Kuhl, 75B pitcher. Everybody needs help in pitching. Pittsburgh. All right, Chad Kuhl would fit out there in Pittsburgh for sure. Keon Broxton. D potential too, by the way. So he's seeing a lot of regression actually. So I know you can't see that on your screen, but 74C or 74D still got some good speed up in the 90s. Fielding is decent. He'd be a defensive replacement for the most part for somebody. So New Orleans, they've already got a pretty good outfield as it is. So the fact they get Keon Broxton, that's a good addition for him. Next up, Orlando Arcia, shortstop, 74B. He is 29 years old in this simulation. Atlanta. I like that addition, actually. They're shoring up on the defense. Arcia is a good defender. I like that ad. So Broxton goes out. Kuhl goes out to Pittsburgh. Broxton goes to New Orleans, right? Arcia heads out to Atlanta. Yep. So there's Gamble. Just showing you guys the list here again. And we're going to head out to... We got Luke Molly, Fultonevich, Noah Ramirez, Jace Fry, Sean Hearn, Tommy Hunter. And then that would do it. That would do it. That's going to do it for our free agency spins. Unless you guys want to go in the 60s, which I wouldn't recommend. Then we're going to be pushing probably 6 o'clock here. So I probably wouldn't go that route. But Luke Molly. Spin that wheel, baby. Spin that wheel. Luke Molly here. Catcher, 73. Defensive guy. St. Louis. They didn't need much. They didn't really need a catcher, but it's all about depth at this point, right? Mike Fultonevich. Good velo. Good break. Decent hits per 9. Decent per 9s. Across the way. This is such a Chicago Breeze ad, man. They get that veteran pitcher. It's funny. Noah Ramirez, 99 break, 87 control. Reliever, 73. Where's he going here? New York. Go figure. Go figure. Everybody wants to go to New York. Jace Fry, 72B, reliever. Santa Fe. So again, Santa Fe continues to address relief pitching. Sean Hearn's actually not real. 71C player. We got Tommy Hunter up next, actually, so let's go ahead and do him. And I think that should do it, unless you guys want to do the 69s. He goes back to New York. So I want you guys to see this real quick. This is, god dang it, this freaking New York pizzazz, man. What is it with that? Why does this wheel spin love New York so much? So in 2021, he was with New York. That was the first season with Tommy Hunter. Now I don't know why it says total, because he wasn't traded in 2021. He was with New York the whole time, and then went to Columbus for the last 2 seasons. So I don't know what that's about, but it's interesting. All right, so let's scroll here. Let's see what we got. 69s, all these 70s. We got Dalton Pompey, another created guy, Gregor Polanco, Longoria. I can kind of do this on my own, which I think is probably the best way to do this, guys. You know, we're already pushing an hour and 15 minutes for a stream, but I think we're good. Like, what do you guys think? Are you good here? We've already drafted. I mean, everybody's drafted. We got the free agent list is pretty much set. Everybody was able to get something out of this, right? I mean, there's some teams that didn't draft a player that, you know, I'll go in and make sure that we've got some positions addressed for them so that they're not left empty-handed. But I think I'm good for the rest of the night, guys. What are you guys thinking here? Always want to do 69s. I think the 70s is fine. I think it's good. It says War Thunder. I would agree. Zach is here, by the way. Well, thank you, too. Tell me when guys live. Josh, Colorado continuously disappoints. No kidding. It's the New York way, says Brayden J. Grab half of the free agents. So I'm just catching up to the comment section here. The RNG gods hate you. They really do. Keneal, what's good? What's good, man? What's happening? We just got done. We're all finished up. So just another preview, guys. Let's see if I can actually can I go through and predict, or not predict, but can I remember where these guys went to? Reyes Maranta, where'd he go? Santa Fe, I think, right? Santa Fe, McCullis, went to Washington? Dude, I don't remember. I don't remember. God dang it. I know in year 2 I did a lot better of a job. Like, I went through this whole freaking list and I knew where everybody went. Just kind of not really. I mean, the big thing is that New York absolutely won the offseason. They won it. They completely won it. It's crazy. I can't say anything else about any other team. Oh, dude, Keneal, I don't even remember that. I don't even remember that. But Colas goes to the Hatters. So War Thunder, everybody needs to go to War Thunder to remember what the heck happened here. Keneal, I did not get one from you. From the Google Forms. I did not get one from you. But I'm pretty sure if you're saying that conversation probably happened. Miles Hendricks was supposed to come over from the Royals. If you're saying that, that conversation probably did happen. I'm just not remembering it. But if that's the case, I mean, there's teams that did not be able to draft a guy. Which I'll have to go back into the video to figure out. But you know, we stopped at one point. So I think Carolina, San Francisco, just put them on San Francisco. Let's just put them on San Francisco. They didn't draft a player, I don't think. War Thunder is probably gonna have to send that list to me, and then we'll figure it out. But you know, I'm obviously still here in this screen. So I'm not moving on. I'm not advancing. So I can make it happen. I can make it happen. I got you. But yeah, I mean, pretty uneventful. Pretty uneventful live stream here today. Not gonna lie. There's not a lot of big names, you know. But New York stole the show. Castellanos. They get Castellanos. Who else did they get? They got Castellanos. They got Noah Ramirez. They got Brandon Catfish that they drafted. I mean, they just cleaned up. They just cleaned up. There's absolutely clean house. It's crazy. I can put them on the Grizzlies. I have no problem with that at all. Yep. I'm pretty sure they didn't draft anybody when we did the wheel spins. New York got 3 outfielders. They got Castellanos, Puig, and Catfish. It's so stupid. And then they even got some additional pitching help, didn't they? They got Noah Ramirez. And then they got Tommy Hunter. They got Tommy Hunter back. Yeah, they really did load up for sure. Yep. All right, guys. Well, then the next order of business here for the series is you guys voted on the logo. You guys voted on the uniform, and you guys helped me today to find the Oklahoma stadium. So we did all those 3 things. So that's under wraps. We did free agency. We did the GGBL draft. And I think all that's left for me to do is to make offers on all these players and make sure they go to the right teams. Figure out the depth side of things, like where are these guys going to head off to? Like Juan Nicasio, where's he going to go? Alcides Escobar, where's he going to go? Blake Parker, you know, I'll have to do that on my own, and I'll make sure I do it in a fair way. But you guys will know kind of, not that you care where these players go. I wouldn't anticipate you care about Chris Carter. At this point, teams are looking for depth. That's really what these guys are going to be providing. So I'll be adding these guys where I see fit. So for me, that's what I've got to do. Everything's on me at this point. So tendering contracts, arbitration for all 30 teams. That's pretty much it. So after we move on, after that, I mean, we're ready to get the season started. So the next episode for the GGBL will be this Wednesday, it'll be kind of a recap. We'll have a recap. I'll show you guys the new digs, Castellanos in a New York Pizzazz uniform, tender contract updates, anything that's notable. I'll post that in that video, and we'll do a little preview of year number 4. So kind of where do I see these lineups going? Where do I see the pitching staffs going? All that. That'll be on Wednesday. And then that Friday, we'll actually get started with some games of the week for opening day. So, and I'll have another form for you guys to fill out on Wednesday's video. So that Wednesday video will have a form for you guys to vote on what games you want to watch for a live stream on Friday night. Sound good? Sounds good. All right, dudes. Well, thanks for tuning in for the last hour and a half. I'll see you guys on Wednesday night for the next upload, which is, again, going to be an off-season recap and season preview. And then you guys will be able to vote in those Google Forms for the Friday live stream game of the week. So it won't be one game. We'll probably do 2 or 3 games. Probably be a 3-hour stream. But, yeah, we'll have some fun with it. And then after that, so after next week, we're going to be moving on. So the week after that will be regular upload again. So every Wednesday will be regular upload. Fridays will be live streams. So we'll just continue to follow that pace. And we'll get through year 4. I'm hoping we can get through year 4 by like in 4 episodes. Honestly. I think like that would be how we can move this series through. We can get past year 4, year 5, year 6. We can possibly even get to year 7 by the end of the year. We can get to year 7 by the end of the year. That'd be really good progress. So, guys, leave a like if you like this thing. I will see you on Wednesday for the off-season recap and the voting forms for Game of the Week. As always, thank you guys for watching and playing a big part in this series. I'll see you in the next one. As always, peace.